And just trying to figure out. There's so much we're learning here, y'all. So I'm trying to invite. Woohoo! All right. Hey, Josh and Aaron, welcome. All right, we're working on this. Uh, this is my second time. I did a test earlier this week, so here we go. Welcome to the live. We're rolling and I guess recording. And welcome to the book launch for Culture Brand Book. This is Jay Rains, and just glad to have you on the call. So we're going to give this a few minutes to let people have a chance to see it. It should be rolling out to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube all at the same time. Now you can chat in those windows. Evidently, again, we're learning. So I think you can chat in those spaces and those will roll right up. And Josh, I see your comment there. Yep, it's launch day. So here we go. And in a few minutes, I have some various guests we'll bring in and just kind of talk through um, why did I write this book, what it's about, and then we're going to do a push here at some other point. Looks like we have about 12 people online right now, so welcome and thanks for joining. And that's increasing. Wow, so good to have you on the call. So kind of starting out, we're going to do a few fun things. One is, oh yeah, Madison, you can get in. There you good. Um, we're gonna do some fun things. We're gonna do a few giveaways. I went across town and went to one of my favorite coffee shops and got some coffee to give out. So we're gonna do a couple of giveaways with coffee, some other prizes through the week. So what I'm learning about launches is launches are not one day. Launches are they maybe a year launch, right? So, but this week is really important because one of the things we're pushing for is that bestseller space. So, here on the call in a bit, we'll send out the link and y'all can go if you haven't already purchased the book or if you want to get the paperback is now available today. And right now, paperback is shipping within about 2 days on Amazon. So, incredible. It's just like you click the button and a machine starts printing your book and they put it in the mail to you in a couple of days. Technology is mind-boggling. So look forward to including you in that. Um, so we're doing a few giveaways, make it kind of fun today. Love to see your comments as we um, work through this. And Aaron, I didn't mean to bring you into the room, but you're in the room. Hello.
But here I am.
I'm learning. I hit a button and like Aaron's there. Let me introduce Aaron. I know this feels a little bit scattered. We do actually have an agenda, and I'm just trying to follow it. So Aaron Casey has helped me put this book together. And Aaron, I just thought maybe it's actually really good to have somebody to talk to here. It's hard to talk to a camera, so thank you for
Yes,
joining.
it is.
So let's just take a minute here. I'm gonna slow my heart rate down a bit. And so we've got this book launch. You helped me get this out there. You're my book um, coach, editor, everything. Thank you so much for making this amazing. So there it is on Kindle. You helped me
Yes.
deliver that. What last week? It's been on
Yes.
Kindle for a week now. We have it at 2.99, and the idea was kind of get some sales going, but also get some reviews
Yeah.
together.
Right.
But so I want to kind of back up just a little bit though and talk about you and I have been working on this together for about 2 years, right?
2 years. It is.
And
Yes.
yeah,
It's it's been a while, but it's been good.
it's been good. And I came into it with an idea, and and I think you and I've talked about this a little bit, but people have asked me, how do you write a book? So actually, what I would do over the last 7 years, I've been writing down um, various ideas. And I look back as you and I got started, because you were helping me kind of pull those ideas together and create an outline and that
Hmm.
kind of thing. I look back, I think that iPad note that I had 180 pages of notes. Now, most of those pages were a hand scribbled, like an idea, a concept, maybe, jotting down things. But that was really a big help in the writing journey. And so, because it's something I haven't said on this call, people might be like, what's this book about? The the book was me capturing what are we doing with organizations to help them get a handle on culture, because everybody's trying to understand how to fix culture,
Hmm.
how to work with culture. And I came upon an idea and it was starting to work with several of our clients. And so we'd actually really formalized it. I was already doing it as a workshop by the time you and I got together to write it all down. And so all of these things in the book are really coming out of several years of experience, well, many years really, but especially the last several years of experience of helping teams figure out if we could get this down to three basic things, it would give us a way to have a tool to help manage and grow and build our culture. And so that's kind of where you stepped into this conversation. Um, yeah, thoughts on that about taking it from idea to book?
Sure. So what I love, what you just said, and I think it's so important, is that it's not the first time you didn't just sit down and think, I have an idea for a book, and then start writing the book. When you're in a position like you are, a consultant, you speak to people, you coach groups, you coach individuals on how to do a certain thing. You're not, it's just not off the top of your head. It's over time where you've tested these ideas, you've collected the ideas, you've seen what works and seen what hasn't. And then those things start to gel. And with the feedback that you get from clients, that you know, yes, if it works here, it can work on a
Yeah,
broader scale. One of the things I love about Culture Brand is that idea that it can work for small businesses, micro businesses, but it can also work large scale, across large companies. So um, I like that you've been able to see that work in real life and then share it. So,
yeah,
um,
thank
but it's
you.
not the first time, and that's what's important. I think it's not the first time. You didn't just say, "Oh, I have an idea for a book. I'm going to write it down, and it's
Yeah,
going to be great." What
right.
makes it great is
Doesn't
that it has your experience in there.
doesn't always work like that, does it? So, and then another part of the process that you really helped me with was, okay, so we actually were done with the book a year ago. We finished
Hmm.
the tech, what I would call the text of the book, the chapters of the book, 9 chapters were written well before. I mean, I think I kind of got the final edited version from you and that from that in like March of last year.
Hmm.
But I was I really felt a need to add a story parable to this. So if you haven't read the book yet, here's kind of how it's structured. There are 9 chapters that teach on how to, like, what is the importance of a culture brand? How do you develop it? What are the uses? All the very practical tools built in, like I would do a workshop, except of course several hours more information. Um, and then we went back and said, okay, now let's get some characters together and let's build some fictional characters who are really struggling. They're living this, because my goal was to really engage with the audience. I wanted the reader to think, I see myself in that coffee shop chair wondering, how did I get here? Right. Which is the opening scene
Hmm.
of the
Hmm.
book. And or I see myself as and really find themselves in those pages, so that at the end of the short fictional part, there it would lead them into the answer part of it of, okay, here's what I can do about that part of my question. So
Right.
yeah, so let's talk. You helped me a lot on the fictional story. What did you think about some of these characters? We've got Kate, Scott, and Clark, and they're interacting with each other.
It's been fun to see them develop through the story, through the process of writing, but then also through the story and see how they grow and use the information, right? The
Yeah.
wisdom from Clark, then the wisdom that comes from Scott, and then I see I almost had to have a previous name because we changed their names.
Right. We did have some, I
So
had some,
I said,
in writing a book, like if you don't have those names yet, I just had some like placeholder names. Yeah, we someday maybe I'll reveal what those were. They were kind of funny, but they allowed us to write the story without knowing, okay, what names are we going to choose here?
mhm,
So, right. So
right,
Kate, I think is who you're referring to.
right, yes. But
Yeah.
to see them develop over time and to actually use the information, um, and I think what is important about it is that you do see yourself in the story at some level because they do represent
Yeah.
different people, different personalities, different aspects of business and life. You are able to see yourself in the story no matter where you are, um, even down to uh, like the employees. And, you know, you can see, okay, oh, I recognize that employee. Oh, I recognize that employee. You know,
Right. There
that
are some
team member.
secondary characters that pop up and they're,
Right.
the conflicts and that, which is an interesting thing. I actually, we all kind of are probably conflict averse. I actually had to look for how to add conflict to the entire there's conflict in every chapter.
Hmm.
And so conflict makes things interesting. So,
Makes things
uh,
interesting and it makes the story move along.
yeah,
So, um, but the illustrative purpose of the story to show how these things actually work in real life, I think is important. And it's what's it makes it fun too. It makes it engaging, I think, because there's lots of business books out there and you've got great business content, but then you have this story that's like, okay, but what's next? What's next? So it was for me, it was a different way of doing, you know, we've done lots of books with people. We've done lots of
yeah,
business related books, but this was the first time that we really done an intentional parable throughout the book. I'm a huge proponent of storytelling in nonfiction because it's emotional engagement, right? We want to connect with the characters, we want to connect with the content. If it's emotionally engaging, we remember it more
yeah.
and then can actually use it. So,
Well, and it became for for those who are listening in today, we have about 16 people online right now. So thanks for joining in. By the way, if you're out there right now, try putting a chat, just say hello, anything. Put where you're calling in from, where you're listening in from. I'd love to see where everybody's listening in
be
from. We
fun.
may not be able to attach your name to that unless you say your name, but I'd love to watch the chat and see how that's rolling. So drop a comment. Um, but one of the reasons I did this story too was we have all these clients that we worked out with over the last 8 years, 9 years now, and hello, all right, Bryan, Texas, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Um, we'll read some of those here in a little bit. College Station, good deal. Was because I wanted to be able to use real stories that happened out in real life
Mm-hmm.
without, I mean, obviously to protect the people and their stories, and so to include some events that really happened with Culture Brand, but wrap it into a more interesting story that all fit together. And so some of the pieces of the story that we did are real life experiences that have happened, and we're able to kind of fold them in. So as I talk to my clients, I'm like, you are woven into the pages of this book in various ways. And so,
Mm-hmm.
but another thing I wove into the pages here that you'll find out, and I talk about this more at the end, this is not spoiler, but there are two nods, other nods that I'm doing, but there's a couple of nods. One is I've named one of the main characters Scott. He's the coffee shop owner who has learned a hospitality culture thing that he's sharing with this Kate. Um, and so Scott had really struggled with that, and we tell his story about how he struggled with it over the last 3 years, and then Kate enters the story. But then, we also find out that another layer to that story. There's a guy named Clark that's his father-in-law who's a cotton farmer way out in West Texas, and so you've got a farmer, a coffee shop owner, and then a multinational like tech company CEO are the three people that learn from each other. Um, And so the one of the nods in there, you'll see it in the first couple of pages of the book, is I dedicated this to a man named Scott Clark. And Scott is a dear friend. He has passed in, I believe, 2019. It's been several years. I think I was talking to his brother yesterday. It's been 7 years. Roger
Oh,
Clark
wow.
was mentioning that. And so, but Scott was someone in my life who he's a business owner, and he pulled me aside one day and he's like, this stuff we were working together on some projects and a business that I was running in India, and he's like, "You're in the US now. I'd love to have you help with my team. And I think you could make a go at this as a business here in the US." And so he was one of those first people that just said, start Leaders Queue, let's do this. And he
Mhm.
was our first client. And so, but it was more than that. It was more of his friendship and his mentorship. And so I really wanted to give a nod to him for that, and
Honor
and
him that
and to
way.
say thank you. Yeah. What was
Love
that,
that.
Aaron?
To honor him that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I love
It
that.
really, and yeah, there's so much I could share about Scott. But he was just one of those people who said, go for it. And I appreciate that. So the other nod though in that, so Scott Clark is his name. So I named Scott and Clark, and I thought that was kind of fun. But Clark is really represents my grandfather. My grandfather was a West Texas cotton farmer.
Mm.
And so I did go spend summers there and learn so much from him on the farm. Um, and so some of the scenes that I were able to include are either me and my grandfather, or my dad and my grandfather, stories that my dad would tell about, it does tell about, being on the tractor and just different things. So it was fun to include like some real life experience even in my own life
Right.
there. And just it I think it makes it more real.
It does. It and it makes it meaningful to you too. I mean, of course the content is meaningful to you, but it's something special. So
So good. Well, Aaron, I'd love if someone out there on this call is wanting to write a book, I'd love for them to get a hold of you. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
for me, it's My Writers Connection. Just mywritersconnection.com or My Writers Connection on Instagram or Facebook. Um, when we started the company, the idea was to be able to connect writers to the resources and people that they need. And so sometimes that resource and person is me, and I help people directly. And sometimes we have other people on our team, or we resource it out to other people that would be a better fit for the clients. But that's the best place to connect. So um,
Okay.
yeah, and I'm just so excited and proud of this book. I think you've done a great job with it. And I love to see things where I think, okay, this is actually, if you implement it, it will make a difference. I see that just even in my small business compared to, Kate's multi-million dollar business. Like I see the
Sure.
difference there, but I also see how it can help. So I'm excited about it. And I love the
Yeah.
storytelling part. That was so much fun.
That was fun. I'm glad we took those extra months to do that. And but it's out there, and the print copy is now available. You can
Yes.
buy that. And Aaron, so what one of the things we're trying to do this week is hit that bestseller distinction. Now, I think there's already like 39 purchases just through Kindle that's already out there. Today will be kind of a big push to buy, but really, we're trying to within a week to hit, say, maybe like 100 sales or something like that, because the category we're in, we're trying to win that category.
Hmm.
Now, if you're listening in and you happen to look on Amazon and you see that it says bestseller, please take a screenshot of that, because
Screenshot it.
Amazon,
Yes.
yeah, send it to me. I might miss it. So it could be like it happens for an hour and that's all it is. That we just want to know, did we hit the mark? So
Hmm.
help us get there by, you know, buy the Kindle book. It's only 2.99 right now. I'll probably gotta leave it that way for another week or something. I'm thinking about that. Then buy the print book, it ships within like 2 days. The hardback is gonna take a little bit longer. It's printed by another source right now. That'll be, I think March 2nd is the earliest ship date for that. And but
And that'll get
I have,
faster over time too, just so you know. That'll get faster as the
yes,
books, you know, are
get some
released.
stock.
Then they'll have some in stock and then they'll be able to ship them a little more quickly. So,
Oh, okay. Okay. So you've been, yeah, there's so much, we won't go into all that, but there's so much to learn in the book printing. Yeah, this has been a lot of learning this last month but thank you for walking me through that. I think that's another reason to have someone like you along the way is it's just a very complicated system and you really have to have someone kind of walking you through that.
well,
So
there are a
thank
lot of
you.
pieces to it. Sure. Yeah, there are a lot of
Yeah.
pieces to it. I wanted to say, if to whoever who's listening, whoever gets the ebook, the print book, whatever, one of the best things that you can do for Jay is leave a review. If you enjoy the book, leave a review on Amazon, Goodreads, Barnes and Noble, wherever you read the book, or wherever you buy books, because it just helps other people know that, hey, this is a good book. This is worth reading, and it is. I promise it is. But it's really, that's a gift that you can give to any author, is just a few words. It doesn't have to be long. It just has to be honest. Don't say you're his best friend, because that doesn't help Amazon. They want to know that this is somebody who actually read the book and enjoyed it. So
Right. Yeah, yeah. Don't if we are we I have a lot of best friends on this call. So yeah, just yeah, as a consumer, right? And give an honest review. If it is a 4, 3, 2, or 1 star review, the link won't work for you. It just won't work. So it needs to be I'm asking. So far they're all 5 star reviews. So thank you for that. I think there's
yes,
12
yes.
reviews right now. I'm really grateful for those reviews. But yeah, if you do see something you would wish would have been better, please let me know. I'd love to. I'm learning. I've got some more book ideas already. Aaron and I are already talking about those. Nothing too soon, but some other ideas in this process. So, a couple of people out there, Aaron. I noticed we have people calling in from Minnesota, Roanoke, Virginia. There's several here from College Station, where we're at near Houston, Conway, Arkansas. Um, let's see, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I think I already said that. Bryan, Texas, which is different than College Station. It's our sister city here,
New Jersey.
and and New Jersey. Okay, I missed that one. I don't have my glasses on, so help me.
Oh yeah,
Who did else did
I'm,
I miss? Oh, New Jersey. Yeah. Hey, Ray.
and somebody from
So
Roanoke, Christy from
Ray,
Roanoke, Virginia.
Ray, if you are okay, you don't have to do this. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Ray, if you're on a computer, if you're on mobile, it'll be hard to do this. But if you're on a computer, hit the live call now. Um, yeah, hey, my optometrist is saying I should be wearing my glasses.
Wear your
He gave
glasses.
me these. Hi, Matt. Welcome to the call. So, Ray, if you're there and can hit the call live now, I'd love to. And if this isn't a good time, that's fine. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but Ray is actually he's one of the earliest ones to use Culture Brand. And so it'd be good to have him on this. So, all right.
Oh, it says the button isn't working.
Oh, the live call
Or the
now is
voice.
not working. Okay. Um, let's text him if you're willing, I'll text you um, you got it? Just look for Ray Cowan. All right. And all right, Aaron, how about we drop you off the call here? Well, I mean, you can stay for just a minute because I'm trying to figure out how to get the next person on.
Sure.
But I wanted to I have a review. There was someone who wanted to be here, couldn't be here. And so he graciously recorded an audio for us. And you might recognize, you may
Nice.
not know this person, but you might know this company. So let me share I guess I'll just share how do I do this? Cancel. Oh, hang on. I don't want to share my screen. Share a presentation. We may not be able to do this on the share. Just not set up, but you'll be able to hear his voice. And so this is it's just audio anyway. All I had was a picture of him. So this is Ricky Dixon. He's the former CEO president of Bluebell Creameries. He's become a great friend, and in fact, he's his review is on the back of the book here, and so I asked him, would you be willing to do a just a shout out? So here he is. Let me see if I can get this to play where everybody can hear it. Yeah.
It's not gonna work. Let's use the microphone to catch it.
Oh, hang on. It's only coming to my. Let me just take out my. Sorry, there's so much to learn in this process.
You're doing great. Doing awesome.
There we go.
Yes, Dr. Rains, this is Ricky Dixon. And I first want to tell you how sorry I am that I'm not able to be a part of your virtual book launch today. I know it's an exciting day for everyone, but for those that are listening, wow, what a great book. There are so many companies today that overlook the importance of developing a strong culture. And yet it's the culture of a company that separates what I call the one and dones from those that endure for many, many years. Dr. Rains' book, Cultural Brand, nails this importance and presents a great template to work from, no matter where you are as a leader or as a company. I wish you the very best, Dr. Rains. And again, for those that are listening today, please go out, get a copy today, and start changing your leadership style and skills to make a culture that lasts forever. I wish you the best.
So amazing of him. He had a
Love that.
commitment that he couldn't miss, and so anyway, Ricky, their company. He came in at a tough time with Bluebell, and we got to talk a lot about that time. He came in right as they were going through their really tough time. 11 years ago, 2015, and so, but great guy, great story. In fact, I interviewed him on my podcast. So if you want to hop over and listen to his story and his book that he released, go to buildyourculturebrand.com and you can find his episode there. Great interview. All right. A couple of things we want to make sure we do. We're running out of time here. So a couple of things. One, we're asking you to buy the book, and if you can, write a review. If you're local and if you're thinking about coming to the launch party that's here, we're going to meet at the Lucky Goat coffee shop at 6 to 8 p.m. Come and go next Thursday night. And if you have that, if you'll buy the book now on Amazon, bring it to that launch party. I'll give you a second book as a thank you. And so we're just trying to drive those Amazon sales. So you can buy the Kindle book, also buy the print book, and do that today. And then the other thing, we've got a few giveaways. I've got some amazing coffee here that I picked up at Polite Coffee across town, one of my favorite roasters. And so I have 3 bags. So we have Agua-Donche. Ray, you better look at this one here. And Ray and I are big coffee fans. So
Ray, he's on it.
here, let's let Ray in right now. Talk about coffee too. All right, Ray. So while he's getting connected there, the way to win this is what were the stipulations? If you'll post a photo. Hey Ray, if people will post a photo of themselves with either like the Kindle book, take a picture. I know that's like the one thing you can have today. Take a picture of the title page, post that online, say, hey, I bought this book, whatever, and then tag me or Leaders Q in that. We're going to watch for those tags. We'll throw all those names in a hat and draw out some names for coffee. We'll DM you. We'll find a way to get a hold of you and ship you a bag of coffee. So as a thank you. So that's one way to win. We have 3 bags of those to give away. And the idea there is we just want to get the word out, and social media is a great way to do it. And
you have such a passion for coffee. I love how that shows up in the book too.
no, so Ray, what do you think? Agua-Donche? It's Ethiopian. I can't hear you.
Oh, you muted.
There you are. No, not yet.
Oh, I think it's in your phone.
Oh, is it going to my?
I think so, yeah. Can you hear Aaron?
I can hear Aaron.
What might be your right?
He's gonna try to jump back on. Anyway, Ray and I love talking about copy, but we also like to talk about leadership. Is that you, Ray? I think I hear you somewhere in the background.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are.
There we go. Somehow it's connected to my phone in the other
So,
room.
Ray, I mean, what do you think? Agadanche? Is that a good one? Ethiopian?
I'm here for it.
All
Absolutely.
right, that's good. So you were one of the early ones to implement the culture brand ideals. What's one? How's that been helpful for your organization?
I mean, I know one of the things I've told you a couple times before was it was like, especially starting off a new business, we all on our team had an idea of what our culture was, but without actually putting a definition beside it, we weren't in any kind of unity. So it's like everybody had their own definition. We were all working towards whatever definition that was, and it wasn't cohesive. And until we all got in a room, wrote it all down, agreed on it together, it was like that's when we started unlocking the next step within our business. But it was the Wild West, where it's like, I think everyone was looking at each other like, why isn't our culture sticking? And we all had a completely different definition of what our culture actually was. And that's why it wasn't working.
There are some stories in the book, I won't ever say, who it is, just to protect the innocent. But one of the stories that is from your location, from where your business is the story about one day you walked in and somebody was having to have a disciplinary conversation or just a tougher conversation with an employee, and you watched how they interacted. Normally you were having to engage in that. They were handling it as leaders, and they were pulling out the culture brand. They had it actually printed and laminated, and they were talking through it. But the part of the story that I thought was really fun, the way you told it to me, was they actually couldn't find that piece of paper for a minute. They're running around like, how are we going to have this conversation without the culture brand? And so they pulled that out and they flipped it over and went to the Spanish version of it. And I just love that we're able to do cross-cultural, like in language, that kind of culture, but also unified culture in your organization. So thanks for sharing that story.
Absolutely. I mean, it was truly awesome to watch in that moment where they're like, we have to have our culture brand. We have to say it right. And we can't even have this conversation without having it. And I'm like, okay, hey, that's it. It went from up on the top level and it's getting executed in our junior level leadership. It's like, okay, it's sticking now. So it's working.
Thank you. Thank you for testing it out, learning with us. Ray is a Chick-fil-A owner operator in New Jersey. And one of the other parts that you've been able to implement too is you went from one location to two. And part of the book is how do we take a culture that's happening in one place and kind of scale that culture. And so we got to learn some things as y'all scaled there too, as you went from one location to two. But congratulations on your success over the last few years, especially.
Well, your fingerprints are all over it. So thank you.
So good. All right. And I don't know how to kick people off, but we can. She kicked you off. All right. Bye, Ray. So, Aaron, we can kick you off too if you want us to, or you can just stay in here. We're just about to wrap this up. I think, thanks for putting up with my craziness on this live. I know it's been a little bit scattered, but we really have these main objectives was just, hey, let's talk about the book. Why did we write it? What were some of that writing process? Thank you, Aaron, for helping us think through that. What can you do to help us launch it and get the word out? I'm willing to do some giveaways for that with the picture post on any of the socials. We're talking about LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and I don't think YouTube has anything like that. But those three are the ones we live in the most. And so tag me or tag Leaders Q, and we'll get the word out. I think we could use the hashtag culture brand too. That might help, but I've seen some people doing
Some
that.
recognition there.
Yeah.
Well, I would say too, like, who do you know that could use this in their business, or who in your business do you know that could benefit if you guys read it together?
Yeah.
I think that's sometimes when we're doing things as a team, if you have the same material that you're working from, the same ideas that you're working from, and then just go through it together. So you'd mentioned having at the event, getting a second copy of the book, but
Right.
there are so many people that need
To give a
help.
friend.
Right. Give a friend or a coworker, a colleague in your business or in another department in your business. So just think, who do you know that could benefit from having a little more unity, a little more cohesiveness, a little more moving in the right direction together. So, I mean, lots of people.
Absolutely. And on that note, one thing that I'm learning here too. So let's say, there's several business owners that are on this call and you're thinking, wow, I need my 15 people to have this book. You could buy that on Amazon if you want to, and please buy at least one copy there. That helps us get our rating up this week. But buying multiple copies doesn't make the bestseller thing happen. Multiple of one copy. So if you want a handful of copies, there are other methods for us to get those to you that we can arrange that. So let me know. We can do bulk order for you, like a case is 30, or we could do part of a case or something. So let me know if you want, more than a handful, and there's some other ways that we can get those to you. Although right now, Aaron, I'm still checking every day for shipping this week, so we're hoping to get our full shipment.
I
in
haven't
for
checked
next
this
week.
morning yet to see if it's shipped, but
Yeah, so
it's
I
going to
think
be
the
soon.
weather
It's gonna be soon.
challenges and all that.
Yeah.
But I will have a handful of print copies ready, but I'm asking everybody, if you're coming to the in-person event, buy it online, get a copy, bring it in, and I'll sign the book you bring in, and I'll give you a free one.
So can I ask you a question? You've
Yeah.
got. Was there ever a point where you're like, I'm going to quit. I'm not going to write this book. We're going to just scrap it.
No.
I love it. Okay, good.
The only thing, and this is kind of that's a good question. Now that you asked that, the only thing was, I feel like I'm sharing too much. I feel like because honestly, to me, this is very valuable intellectual property, and I felt like I was supposed to steward that and keep it a secret and only sell it to the clients that were willing to pay us to come share it, right? And then a few authors, friends of mine that actually reviewed the book, they said, no, if you don't feel like you're sharing too much, you're not sharing enough. And so they said,
that's right.
Get it out there, get the information, get all these helps out there, and the people that are going to do it themselves are going to do it themselves, and that's fine. I want it to help people, and then the people that need me and my team to come in and help guide them, like Ray, we work with like 6 or 7 of their leaders on a monthly basis, and so that's a partnership that we have to help them implement these ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was probably the one hesitation, was I feel like I'm sharing too much. I'm giving away the farm.
Sure.
So
Sure. And I think that's a normal hesitation that coaches, consultants have, because they think, are they going to pay me for my services? But the real deal is, you bring something extra to the table, right? You bring more wisdom, you bring more experience, you bring more insight. So while you have something in your book that people can take and implement and use right away, you can see even from the content that, like, man, if we had somebody to walk alongside us, we could even take this farther. So it's a way to get started with Culture Brand, and certainly you can go on your own, but I can see how taking it farther and working together could be really powerful. So no, I don't think you shared too much, but I can see the hesitation there where you feel like it could be.
Right. It's like I gave it all away. So,
yeah.
But I hope it helps a lot of teams. And there were some other people, I think we're going to have to close this off. There were some other people I wished, we're going to try to figure out how to pull them in here. I have several of our team coaches hanging out in the wings here, and I think the technology here wasn't working for me to be able to pull them in, but we'll have to do another live here soon. I think I'm gonna like this live thing. I just need to kind of narrow down, like, what are we trying to do in 15 or 20 or 30 minutes. And
Sure.
doing a lot. Have I missed anything? Madison sitting nearby helping me here.
Can I come
Thank you.
wave?
Come wave.
Come
Come
wait
jump
a
on the
second.
camera.
I'm here. I'm the one.
Madison's working behind the scenes here, making sure everything's rolling. So thank you, Madison.
Okay, the only other thing I just mentioned in the chat was.
Carmel's also
questions.
helping in the background in Minnesota. So
Yes, she is. We've been texting this whole time.
that's so good.
Okay, so I just mentioned if anybody has questions, they can send them in the chat.
Okay.
Nobody sent anything yet, but just if you want to mention. them.
If you please put a question in the chat. I'd love to be able to answer that now. I'm surprised we didn't think of that earlier. Drop a question in the chat. Give me a tough question. All right.
We're talking
I'm
about
posting
illustrative
about the giveaways
purposes.
and things as well in there.
And this will be the wrap up. So if you need to run, that's fine. But if you want to stay online, ask a question, we can field those here. What was that, Aaron? You said?
I was gonna say, the story in between the chapters, right? That brings the story, that brings the teaching to life. We have a retreat this weekend, a women's retreat this weekend, and I had this thought. I think I need something that has an illustrative purpose, right? Like I need something that will bring the story to life. So that's what this is. This is not an actual tattoo. My daughter-in-law came over and drew it on there because it's rooted in wisdom is the theme. But I thought it tells the story in between all the rest of the chapters.
It's like, our time in India, my daughter got really good at Mahindi, doing the art on people's arms and stuff. So it reminds me of Mahindi.
But it tells the story of how this actually works in real life and just brings it to life. So it's kind of fun. So
Wow. I don't see nobody gave me any tough questions. So I think
Christy says,
All
thanks,
right.
Jay. Excited for your book to be out into the world. It's great. Ron says, congratulations on the launch. The ideas in the book are absolutely add value to the leaders and organizations that use it.
okay. And Matt says, great job. Bought on Amazon. Thank you, Matt. And I will wear my glasses, I promise, when I drive. So good deal. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here, and look forward to doing more things like this. But thanks for jumping on the live from wherever you are, and we'll look to see you. So we didn't do the other giveaway though. We'll do
we
it.
didn't. We mentioned with the email. We could do it online.
We can do it online. All right. But I'm gonna wrap this up and hit the close button. Thanks, Aaron, for jumping on and staying on the
Congratulations,
call the
Jay.
whole
Well
time.
done. Yeah, no, well done. I'm so excited for you.